NASCAR just flipped the All-Star race upside down, and honestly, it might be the best thing they've ever done to it. On the 25th of February, 2026, NASCAR and Speedway Motorsports made it official. The 2026 NASCAR All-Star Race is moving to Dover Motor Speedway. That's right, a brand new home for one of the most exciting events in all of stock car racing. And it's not just the location that changed. The whole format got completely rebuilt from the ground up. Dover Motor Speedway is nicknamed the Monster Mile, and that name is not for show. It's a 1-mile concrete oval with banking so steep that it almost looks like a wall. When drivers hit those turns at full speed, the forces pushing down on their bodies are extreme. It beats up cars, it beats up drivers, and it does not forgive mistakes. This is one of the most physically demanding tracks on the entire NASCAR schedule, and now it's going to host a race where $1 million is on the line. The race is set for Sunday, the 17th of May, 2026. For the very first time in the two-year history of the NASCAR All-Star Race, Dover will host it, bringing the event to the Northeast for the very first time ever. This is a big deal for fans in that part of the country who have never had the chance to see the All-Star Race in their backyard before. Now, here's where things get really interesting. NASCAR made a decision that nobody saw coming. They completely got rid of the All-Star Open. Gone. Done. No more. For those who don't know, the All-Star Open used to be a separate qualifying race held before the main event. Drivers who weren't already eligible for the All-Star race had to go out and race their way in through the Open. It was basically a second-chance ticket to the big show. Some fans loved it. Some thought it slowed down the whole night. But either way, it's not happening in 2026. Instead, every single eligible driver is guaranteed a spot in the race. No more fighting just to get on the track. If you're eligible, you're in. Simple as that. In fact, the full Cup Series field, anywhere between 36 and 40 cars, will all take the green flag together on May 17th. This changes everything about how the event feels. Before, some drivers were already worn out or focused on the Open result before the main race even started. Now, every eligible driver walks straight into the All-Star race with fresh focus and one goal: win the $1 million. NASCAR's Senior Vice President of Racing Development and Strategy, Elton Sawyer, spoke about the decision and made it clear this was all about making the race better. "We want the All-Star race to be the most exciting event we put on all year," Sawyer said. "Moving to Dover and changing the format gives us the best chance to do exactly that." And speaking of the format, let's talk about what's actually happening on the track, because this is where it gets really intense. The 2026 NASCAR All-Star Race will be 350 laps long, broken up into 3 separate segments. 350 laps at Dover Motor Speedway. Think about that for a second. That is a massive amount of racing on one of the hardest tracks in the country. The concrete surface at Dover is rough and abrasive, which means tires wear down fast. The steep banking puts enormous stress on the cars throughout every single lap. By the time the final segment rolls around, the equipment is going to be pushed to its absolute limit. Here is how the 3 segments break down. Segment 1 is 75 laps, with the starting lineup set by Saturday qualifying. When that segment ends, NASCAR takes the top 26 finishers and inverts their order for Segment 2, which is also 75 laps. That inversion is huge. It means the fastest cars from Segment 1 are restarting from the back in Segment 2, which guarantees chaos and passing all the way through the field. The rest of the field lines up behind them based on their Segment 1 finishing positions. Then comes the big one. The final segment is 200 laps, and only 26 drivers make it in. The field for that final 200-lap battle is determined by combining each driver's finishing positions from Segment 1 and Segment 2. The lowest combined number wins the best starting spot. There will also be a competition caution at around lap 225, which is 75 laps into the final segment, giving teams one last chance to adjust tires and strategy before the final push to the finish. The 3-segment format means there are multiple moments of high pressure throughout the whole day. Every restart is going to be aggressive. Every pit stop is going to matter. Every decision a crew chief makes could be the difference between winning $1 million and going home empty-handed. Dover Motor Speedway president Mike Titoian talked about what this event means for the track and the fans who will be there. This format rewards performance, puts every driver on track on Sunday, and shines the spotlight on what Dover does best with high speeds and high levels of excitement, Titoian said. It's going to make for an unforgettable all-star weekend. That word unforgettable is going to define this whole weekend. The Mechanics Wear Pit Crew Challenge is returning, and it's going to be used to help set qualifying and pit selection for the all-star race weekend. Here is how it works. During Saturday qualifying, each driver takes the green flag, runs one full lap at speed, and then on the second lap pulls into a NASCAR-designated pit stall for a 4-tire stop, no fuel added. When the stop is done, the driver races back to the checkered flag. The total time from green flag to checkered flag is the qualifying time. The fastest overall time earns the pole position for Segment 1. And here's the extra layer. The pit crew that records the fastest stop with no penalties wins the Mechanics Wear Pit Crew Challenge and gets first choice of pit stall selection for the race. That means the over-the-wall crews, the 6 or 7 guys who change tires and work under extreme pressure, directly control a piece of their driver's race day advantage. One fumbled tire, one slow lug nut, and your driver starts from the wrong pit stall. That kind of pressure on a team during qualifying is unlike anything you see on a normal race weekend. Right now, 17 drivers are already locked in and guaranteed a spot in the final 200-lap segment. No matter what happens in segments 1 or 2, these names are in. Locked-in drivers include William Byron, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Austin Cindric, Ryan Blaney, Josh Berry, Austin Dillon, Chase Briscoe, Ross Chastain, Shane Van Gisbergen, Bubba Wallace, and Kyle Busch. Drivers qualify for automatic entry into the final segment by having won a points event in 2025 or 2026, or by being a former NASCAR All-Star race winner or Cup Series champion who is a full-time competitor. The remaining spots in the 26-car final segment, that's 8 open positions as of right now, will be filled based on the combined finishing results from segments 1 and 2. The 26th and final position will be reserved for the NASCAR All-Star Fan Vote winner, so fan voting actually puts someone directly into that final 200-lap battle for the million. That is real power for the fans watching at home. And you start to see exactly what NASCAR is going for here. They want speed. They want chaos. They want every single person involved pushed to their absolute limit. And on May 17th at the Monster Mile, that is exactly what they are going to get.